if you're not a member of our community and you're thinking about coming and you're thinking about renovating for profit, it's a really good way of dipping your toe in. It's not a big expense, and you really get the sense of what's involved with the strategy that you are considering pursuing. There's a lot of education in the program, but also you start to put together your team and your network, because you really do need to have a team that you can trust. And so being able to put that together in one day is a massive advantage.
You're listening to the She Renovates podcast. You're listening to She Renovates, the podcast for women who want to renovate to create an income and a life they love.
Hello, everyone. So Bernadette back with another episode of She Renovates. And firstly, I want to welcome Michelle. So Michelle is here to help me flesh out this topic. So those of you who don't know, Michelle is a renovation and mindset coach who works in our business and helps us to get the amazing results that our women do. And today we're talking about something really exciting that's coming up. She Renovates Live. So it's a one-day event that we've now been running for 3 years. This is our third year. And I really wanted to fill you in on what the go is, and I guess all the exciting things that we've got lined up for you, because this event is for you. Okay. So we've been working hard at this, haven't we, Michelle?
Yes, there's been lots of action behind the scenes. So a lot goes into putting this type of event together. And it's really an extremely unique opportunity for women all around Australia who love renovating, who love property investing, to come together in Sydney and be in a room of people who get it. And that's really rare, and it's an exceptional opportunity.
I don't think there's anything else really like She Renovates Live. Well, I certainly haven't seen anything.
No, not for women, no.
No. So it's pretty special. And so let's firstly just get the details out of the way. So as Michelle mentioned, that it is in Sydney, but it's also online. So because we know that it's, not everyone lives in Sydney. I find that really hard to believe, but it's true. And I know I'm going to get everyone offside, but so we really wanted to make it available to women Australia-wide, because we know that we all share that same passion for creating beautiful homes. So it's online.
I'll be travelling up for the event. One of our really special guest speakers is travelling up for the event as well. So there will be women coming from all around Australia. So if you can get some time out of your family, it's a really great chance to do some self-care and do something you love, grow your investing knowledge, and be in a room of amazing people. So I encourage you to get on a flight, drive over, but in the instance where you can't, then it's acceptable to absolutely join us online. But the first preference is to get in the room, because that's where the ultimate magic happens.
Absolutely. And so the theme of this year's event is the $1 Million Renovator. Now, that may sound like, what's the word, Michelle? Really ambitious.
I think what you're getting at is that for some people, they are absolutely in the point in their renovation journey where they are aspiring to make many more hundreds of thousands in their renovation and investing journey. But for people who are starting out, that might seem like a very far off journey. But when you think about it, if you've got one or two properties, it's quite likely that they are around the $1 million mark. And so you already have a portfolio of $1 million. And it's really about seeing it for what it is and understanding that you are probably already a millionaire in assets, and also just building up that capacity to make more and more money through renovating and wealth building and property investing. So if it does seem a stretch for you, it's a great chance to work with your mindset to start building toward the capacity that you want to build toward if you're not quite there yet.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the magic word, and that's mindset. So I think I guess one of the reasons that we've come to this theme is because often as renovators, we get tunnel vision. So we really focus really heavily on what we're wanting to do in a room or in a home or in a project, but we don't really look past that project and past what our personal goals are. That's a really common mistake with renovators. And when I look back, like over the time that I've been renovating, there is no doubt that renovating that I have done has added multi-millions to my to our asset base. However, when I first started out, I didn't really look at it like that. I looked at
Yes.
it just sort of like a little hobby or a side gig.
Yeah.
And I think we can be a lot more powerful if our mindset is a little bit more ambitious.
Yeah, and I think also we need to realize that investing and property is a long-term gain. Yes, we can do short-term projects to build those chunks of cash, but at the end of the day, it's holding on to those assets for their income producing ability or for whatever reason it may be. So it's important that we look at both the short-term and the long-term gain of our investing journey.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And now we do have a lot of women doing short-term strategies like flipping. And we all love flipping because it's so exciting. But the reality is that the multi-millions comes from holding. So,
Correct.
we have plenty of examples where renovators are making large six-figure profits. I think Kathleen Friedrich just tickled the $1 million mark with a project last year. But generally speaking, we talk about flipping profits in the 100,000s.
Yes.
Whereas if you're prepared to look a bit longer term, then you're adding zeros to that. And that's a really important thing to do.
Yep, absolutely. I agree 100%. So yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about at our big event, She Renovates Live. So it's very exciting. We've already started selling tickets. Am I pitching too soon, Bernadette?
No, all
we've
good.
we've
We
already
want to
started
have room choppers.
So I was just going to say, so we've offered tickets to our students and members first, and then once we open the floodgates, everyone will be welcomed in. And I suspect that's happening this week if it hasn't already. So please don't delay in booking your ticket. It's something to look forward to. It's a chance to get away from the family for the day, or even the weekend if you're coming from interstate. It's just, yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah. And in line with that whole concept of playing a bigger game and living a life of abundance, we needed to find the perfect venue. And so we're going to be holding it at the Grounds of Alexandria, which we've been there before for other events, but we've gone for a much more opulent room. We've gone for the linseed room for two reasons. One, because as renovators, we want to, when we're kicking back, we want to do that in a space that's really reflective of what we do. Like we create beautiful homes, we should be gathering in beautiful spaces. But the second reason is because we know that COVID's not that far behind us, we wanted to have a room with much bigger capacity so that anyone was concerned about that would be able to socially distance adequately and not feel, compromised. So two reasons, and I'm really excited because I absolutely love the room, and I did shoot a short video for anyone that wants to check it out. It'll be on our reels and also on our TikTok.
Bernadette has gone to a huge amount of effort to source and secure this location. It is going to be a destination event, the Linseed House. It's going to be beautiful, and it's really going to be an occasion that everyone's going to remember, coming together, getting informed about the property market, having a market update, having some really powerful speakers. Bernadette and I are both speaking, which we're very excited about, but just having that beautiful memories of that amazing space and learning about growing our wealth and building our businesses and just being around lots of other inspiring women is really where it's at for me, Bernadette.
Excellent. I totally agree because, you know, as we often say, your income or your life is the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So you want to be spending your time with people that are aligned with your vision for yourself. And so
Yes.
this is a really great way of doing that.
Yeah, and just the level of inspiration will be off the Richter scale. And really, everyone from the feedback I'm getting is that people want to be in a room together. We've missed out for a couple of years. We're slowly getting back to it. We really want to gather in person. It's really making those person-to-person connections where you can potentially find joint venture partners. You're always going to learn something, even if you've been doing this for years and years. Bernadette and I are constantly learning. We have our own coaches, we're constantly growing, and we want that for our community.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, even though we've been in the business for a long time, there is never a project that goes by that I certainly don't, that I don't learn something. And so one of the things that I try to do at the She Renovates Live is sort of impart those learnings. And, you know, this year, it's been an interesting year in terms of the market, you know, with
Yes.
interest rates being all over the place. Other thing is there's been big changes in Airbnb. Airbnb as a strategy has changed a lot. In some aspects, it's sort of dropped off, and in other aspects, it's got more powerful and more lucrative. And the other thing is in joint ventures, they're probably the 3 areas that I see that there have been changes. And of course, there have been changes in legislation and so on. So there's lots to update you with.
Yeah, and trends are constantly changing. And I think the feedback, again, that I get from women that listen to She Renovates podcast is that Bernadette is keeping abreast of these changes. She's sharing it with her community. She's talking to people in the know who have expertise in certain areas, and she's bringing that amazing amount of information. And She Renovates Live, the day itself will be another example of that is where the latest trends and details are being shared. And that information is really hard to find. It comes from various sources. Bernadette's packaging it up, the whole team. We're all working really hard to package that up and to bring it to you in one amazing day. We've got a sit-down lunch, barista coffee all day. I could go on and on and on.
Absolutely. And please do. Goodie bags. So
Oh, yes,
goodie
tell them
bags,
about the goodie bags.
yes, they've become a source of contention these days because they were known to be very unsustainable. So we want to make sure that we're being really responsible with them. And I think when you see them, you will agree that we've achieved that. So we really just want to make sure that it's useful, the goodie bag is useful, and not just a load of rubbish, which often they are.
Yes.
And sustainable. So we should just go back a bit and say that we're actually kicking off the event on the night before, the Saturday. Well, actually the day before. So do you want to outline how that's going to roll, Michelle?
Yeah. So for our current members in our Wonder Women group, we have twice a year an annual Boardroom Day. So our high-level renovators, our mastermind high-level students will be meeting the day before. So we're really excited about that day. It's an opportunity for them to come together with Bernadette and I and our community and talk about where they're at, what they need support with, and we have a massive group support session Q&A for each individual member. It's a really high-level occasion where people can share what it is they need, and people often have the answers for that. So that's going to be an exclusive event just for our members, and I think in a little bit we'll talk about people potentially being able to join that if they're interested. And then the other really exciting thing, which I'm super excited about, is we're having a VIP dinner, And initially, we were just going to have it for our members, but we have decided to open the doors up to the public for the VIP dinner, which is on Saturday night. It's going to be at the Moore Park Golf Club, and details will be coming out in emails. Bernadette will probably mention it on the podcast. But if you're wanting to hear from a speaker who manages up to 10 renovations at one time, you need to get along to this event. Bernadette.
Absolutely. So that speaker is Fung, who did do an episode on this podcast, and we will include a link in the show notes. But she's speaking at this actual event so that our Wonder Women and the people in the community can actually relate or connect with her one-on-one to ask the questions that they want to ask, because she's seriously scaling up dramatically. And so she tells a very common story, one that we often tell, about buying properties that were turned out to be negatively geared, and discovered the errors of her way, and now she is making up ground big time. And I know that our Wonder Women are very excited about that, because they are all quite ambitious, and it's often, the inspiration of others that gets you to the next goal. And
Yeah, and we've purposely made that sort of an earlier dinner night. So we know we've got the massive day the next day, but it's a really unique opportunity for people in the community to be sitting amongst our Wonder Women, asking them about our community and our program and their projects. And so we'd encourage everyone. Tickets are limited for that event, as they are for She Renovates Live. So the sooner you get in, the better, and secure your seat. And we look forward to seeing you there.
Excellent. And so a lot of the teaching on the day will be through case studies, through the work that the Wonder Women renovators are doing, because I find that the most powerful way to learn, to be able to see someone actually doing what you're doing, being able to ask them the questions directly that are on your mind. And we do have some absolutely amazing projects going on. The first thing I want to say is, in our Wonder Women group, we have a massively high rate of active renovating women. So in the Diamond group, we have around 95% actively in a project, and there's one that's not, and that's because she's getting all her approvals and things organised, so just not quite there yet. So, a lot of renovation programs, people do the program but don't get the results. That absolutely doesn't happen in the Wonder Women program. So that's why we've got a repertoire of projects, all different sorts of projects, to showcase on the day. In fact, just right at the very moment, there are four Wonder Women projects that are on the market?
Yes, it probably is. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Lucy's, Joe and Mary are going to market shortly.
Cherie.
Karen and Christine and Cherie.
Yeah.
So that's four.
Yeah, at least four.
Yeah. So out of a relatively small group, then that's pretty cool. And so lots of different projects. There's Airbnb projects, there are flips, there are micro developments, and so lots of different strategies.
Yeah. I think you've also touched on a really powerful point, in that we are not a cast of thousands here at the School of Renovating. It's very much a supportive environment where you've got a whole heap of women who have got your back. Bernadette and I know all our members. We work really closely with them. We're not just about the renovating. We also support them in life and in their own businesses. We have a lot of business women in our community. either in the real estate industry or other industries. And Bernadette and I provide some coaching around that as well, which is really powerful, and the women find it really beneficial. So we are a group that does care about our members, and we have a lot of people that have done other programs and not had the results, and they've come to us and they've been able to take action because they have the support of people who have been there and a support of a whole group of women around them who are doing what they want to do or doing what they're doing, and it's very powerful.
Completely. And that support, particularly on your first one or two projects, is critical, because as women, we can do this. In fact, I don't think I've come across someone that can't. But what stops us and them is confidence. And and that's reasonable, because buying a property is a big expense, and particularly if you're doing a strategy that can be quite high risk. And if you've never done it before, even though you know the theory, it's a bit like, I always say, it's like learning to drive. You know the rules, but when you get to the corner, it's sort of not second nature what you should do next. So what the women can do is actually lean on our years of experience until they build their own judgment. And that's why our program is so successful.
It is. And I'm always surprised when I meet people who have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars investing in property without a coach, without a mentor, without an education program. And then they say, but it didn't work out, or I made some mistakes, or I bought the wrong property. And I think, it's such a small amount to invest in yourself, in your future, to have the resources, to have the coaching support and mentoring, to have the education and a whole community of people that you can ask questions to. When you're buying hundreds of thousands of dollars a home, a $1 million of home, it's just a really smart decision. And the women that come to us are very intelligent. They understand the power of coaching, and we welcome them in. We don't take everyone into our program. You need to be the right fit. But if you've got the goods, we welcome you in with open arms and generally a virtual hug.
Absolutely. And then you become one of the mastermind. And the great thing about mastermind is it's not just us. We have experts, subject matter experts as well in our community. Like, we've got some really smart women in real estate. We've got interior designers. We've got a town planner. So while that community is quite small, well, I wouldn't say it's small, but it's it's personal. It's also there's also a lot of expertise in that group.
Yeah, and I think Prue Muirhead said it best when she said, what you guys give that others don't is the nurturing and that one-to-one personal women's support. So women understanding the position of women in life with either older parents or younger children or trying to work. There's just so many factors. And so we take into consideration all of those things. And that's a part of our weekly discussions with our high-level members, if it needs to be. We chat to them about whatever they need, and they have access to myself for mindset sessions, which they love. And we're the complete package, Bernadette.
We are, Michelle. Absolutely. And okay, so of course there will be good opportunities for networking, and that's really, really important, because having a group like this together is rare, and you want to make the most of it.
Yeah, and whether it be at lunchtimes or morning tea breaks, we might even put in an official networking session. So just bring business cards, or, most people just share Instagram or Facebook connections. But it's really connections that you can continue to have for many years to come. And, it's a really valuable part of the She Renovates Live Day.
Absolutely. And of course, we haven't mentioned the prizes and giveaways.
Ooh, Bernadette, tell me more. Can I enter?
Of course, Michelle.
No, I can't.
Well, I won't go through everything, but there's probably two prizes that I do want to mention. So once again, David Janson our architect, is donating a Renovators concept session. So everyone loves this this session. So basically, what he will do is sit down with you and work directly with your plan to create the concept for your project. So you could use that just for a room. You could use it. You might want to design a kitchen, or you might want to get the design concept for the whole project. So that's one of our giveaways. The other one that we're giving away is one of our 100K renovation programs. So that's valued at $4,999, and that will be going to one lucky person.
And that,
sorry.
I was just going to say, because what are the early bird tickets priced at, Bernadette? Is it
at the moment, tickets a live ticket is $349
in the room? That's an amazing return on investment if you were to win that coaching program. So that's an amazing prize.
Absolutely. So so we give away one of our products every year as a big prize, a grand prize. Plus, we've got lots of other prizes, because I personally love competitions, because I think they keep you alert, and so we'll be really layering them on.
There's also going to be an amazing range of professionals that we have invited to the day that you will be able to connect with, people like mortgage brokers, buyer's agents, and other professionals. And so that's a really unique offering that we only usually offer to our students who are in our program. But if you come along to She Renovates Live, it's a really unique opportunity to access those professionals and to potentially ask them questions and get a real market update on the finance situation, on the property market itself. So that's, that alone is the reason to come straight away and get your ticket now.
Absolutely. And so I think we've given the topic sufficient airplay, but I just wanted to sort of my parting comment would be, if you're not a member of our community and you're thinking about coming and you're thinking about renovating for profit, it's a really good way of dipping your toe in. It's not a big expense, and you really get the sense of what's involved with the strategy that you are considering pursuing. There's a lot of education in the program, but also you start to put together your team and your network, because you really do need to have a team that you can trust. And so being able to put that together in one day is a massive advantage.
Huge, huge.
Have you got anything you want to say before we wrap up, Michelle?
I was just going to say, if people are listening and they are wanting to get involved in our community and they are already currently renovating or renovating full-time or part-time, there may be a unique opportunity for some people to come in and join us and get on to that boardroom day. We don't normally offer it to the public, but if you are thinking about coming into our program, you've been watching Bernadette, we have a lot of women. I do the discovery calls and they say to me, I've been listening to the podcast for so long. So I know lots of you out there have been following Bernadette and have always thought about coming into the community. So we do have a couple of spaces for people that may be interested in that higher level support, and then potentially coming into that diamond day, the day before She Renovates Live. But that's not for everyone. It's just for a couple of special people.
Yeah. So I guess the reason we're mentioning that now is because the Diamond Boardroom Day is a really good way to get started. Yeah, so when we have one, and if we've got any spaces, we like to offer them, because you get embedded very quickly in a live boardroom day. So thank you for that, Michelle. Thank you for joining me. I think we've given some good detail without too much.
Yes.
And we really look forward to seeing you, the listener, on the day. Or if you would like to book a ticket, just go directly to the website and you'll find a link on the homepage, which will take you to the landing page. Just important to note that we've got an action takers offer at the moment, which has a limited number. So once they go, then it will be revert to the normal early bird price for another couple of weeks, and then it will go up to full price. So please, if you're thinking about coming, book your ticket today.
Yes, exactly. Thanks for having me, Bernadette, and I look forward to seeing everyone at She Renovates Live. Please come up and say hello, bring your questions, your burning questions, and Bernadette and I will be there, and we look forward to meeting you.
Thanks so much, Michelle, and thanks to you for listening.
If you want to meet up with a group of savvy renovating, I shouldn't say it's all women because it's not, savvy renovators, I'll say, come over and join She Renovates. It's completely free Facebook group and it is growing at the rate of knots. We hit 1,000 members just recently and now it seems to have picked up momentum. And so they are all savvy renovating women and men that are working their little hearts out to live a better life through renovating. Join if you're not already a member, and then ask, comment, and do whatever you would like to do in order to further your renovation journey. And that's it for me today, so I'll see you next week.
This is the She Renovates podcast. To discover how to harness the power of renovating, check out theschoolofrenovating.com.